You return the dagger to father and say you cannot participate in a ritual. You're a commoner and your back bears the mark of the lash. Grandfather would never have let you honor his name as a nobleman. Nathan nods in agreement. You do not deserve this honor. Father furrows his brow and shakes his head. Stefan, help me close the lid of the sarcophagus, and remember to ask for grandfather for his blessing. And as for you two, it seems you weren't ready to walk the nobleman's path after all. You're right, son. Your grandfather would never have allowed it. The lid of the sarcophagus falls into place with a heavy resonant thud. Then suddenly you all freeze as each of you hears your late grandfather speaks to you. His voice is loud, as it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately. Weaklings, I knew you never had it in you to rise above your meager birthmark. You have not a drop of nobility in you, and your pathetic little brother is the same. You attend upon my flesh and blood, begone from my crypt. Your legs get out of the crypt on their own accord. Out of that stuffy crypt. You can finally breathe again. You hear slow footsteps behind you. You turn around and meet Nathan's gaze. You did the right thing. If it weren't for you, I'd have done what father told us. Grandfather said I should stay away from his legacy, said it will do me no good if I try to follow in his footsteps. How's that for words of guidance, eh? Nathan sighs as he embraces you. Father and Stefan leave the crypt much later and walk to the carriage without a word. You and Nathan humbly follow behind them. So we now, like, our father doesn't like us so much. He likes us less. But we got some sympathy of Nathan. And what's the best? We got willpower a little bit. Great, now we have 0. Awesome. The poets. This event is a consequence of a previous action. Conditions met. Ingenuity more than 4. Today you and Thomas are to explore the streets of the castle district. You delve deep into the district, right to the old siege walls of Anisotti. The city needs these walls no longer. There are no more enemies left for the empire to fight, since the twins descended and chose the Tempest dynasty to rule the empire. It has spread one sea to sea, bringing its rule and peace for many generations. The two of you gaze in awe at the old charcoal black marks on the former fortress walls. They say magic wielders during Char Milanida's rebellion could conjure gods of the fire with their own hands. The rebellious duke fought against the emperor and the church of the twin gods in the days of yore, but nothing remains of his rebellion now, save for scorched ruins and parched land throughout Magra. It's so interesting. You and your friends study the old walls and daydream about the battles that took place here during the rebellion. But then you hear a muffled voice coming from somewhere below the ground. You look around and find a hole in a brickwork where the sounds are coming from. Naturally, you take a peek. You see a half-ruined hall built below the ground, and a handful of young men and women standing there in the dark. They look a little bit older than you and are wearing plain shorts and dresses. They look, yeah, I think it's type of they look. A young man is standing on a piece of crumbled wall, reciting some of his poetry. He tells the story of the nobleman who fell into a puddle thanks to his gaudy cloak, and none of his noble bearing was of any help. He ends it with a farcical bow. You hear applause and laughter. He gets down from the crumbled wall, and the young girl takes his place. You cannot see her face in the darkness, but hers is a voice you could recognize anywhere. It is Gloria. Your sister begins to recite a poem she has written. Nay, Gloria, yours is no proper life. You are to be a mother and a wife. Accept the kitchen apron for a gag, and lo, another voice now takes a crack. You are straying from your lot. You've got some nerve. Eyes down and be obedient and serve your husband, children, house. They are your absolute. Nay, Gloria, you are but rotten fruit. You lean down to hear her better, but sand and stones fall from under your feet and into the underground hole. Gloria looks up and meets your gaze. Thomas pulls you away from the hole. Sir, they're reading poems. Imagine that. They sure had novels. And even Gloria. I never thought your sister could do that. Ma, that girl sure gonna get in trouble that he got inspired by now. But Ma and a novel will get a flogged in the next week. Not to mention all the trouble you can get into the writing pipes if you're a commoner. You'd better tell the sister to lay off. We'd better stay away from them too. You're not. Being around these people puts Gloria in great danger. But you know, your sister, it will not be easy to tell her this. Your adventure in this castle district is done for tonight. You and your friend return home. During dinner, Gloria will not look at you. Her hair is all disheveled. Is she afraid or is she ashamed? You are also word sick. These literary gatherings may spell danger for your sister. But for an illegitimate child like her, there are so few ways to forge your own path. Dinner is over. Soon you and Gloria are alone at the table. What are you going to tell her? So we may convince Gloria to leave the society, and if anyone ever hears about this poets gathering, it would be bad for Gloria. Or keep Gloria's secret. You promise to keep your sister's secret safe and help her. So what will you choose? And you know, by the way, I have never seen that extract before. So that's kind of interesting for me too. See you.